Welcome to my first episode. My name is Kimberly Costi. I've been a sign language interpreter for 18 years and a personal growth coach for 6. Personal growth is my heart. I've known I wanted to help people since I was 17 years old. I was that kid who was always asking why. But even at 17, I knew I had to work on me first. So I went off to college, majored in psychology, and as soon as I graduated, my personal growth journey began in my early 20s with Tony Robbins. In my 20s, CDs were all the rage. So I would pop a CD into my Walkman and have access to Tony in an instant. FYI, I'm one of the 300 million Audible subscribers. So I know it's not just me who prefers listening over reading. But what if you're deaf and you don't like or don't want to read? Even watching a video is reading. So 2 months ago, I was in the shower, listening to Scroll 1 of Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And I asked myself, how would I interpret that? And it hit me. I should interpret books. I shall call it visible. No, that's already a word. Wait, so is Audible. So I started looking into copyright laws, etc., and it turns out that's going to be an uphill battle. The sad fact is we don't have 300 million possible users for visible books, so there's no money in it for publishers. But I still have hope more people will join me in interpreting what they're passionate about, and together we'll find a way. I'm not letting that stop me, though. For now, I'm going to share, teach, and coach by summarizing concepts and tools I've learned from some of the most accomplished, smartest, and knowledgeable people on the planet. People who have made it their life's work to help others grow beyond their limiting beliefs and succeed beyond their wildest dreams. Because everyone should have access to that in their first language. If you don't mind, enjoy, or even prefer to read, great, keep reading. If not, here's another option. Watching YouTube content instead of reading horrible captions and listening to inspirational teachers or a podcast rather than reading more text. TED Talks are translated into over 100 spoken languages. 0 sign languages. None. TED Talks change the way we think, what we believe about ourselves, and how we see the world. One TED Talk could change your life. I'm an interpreter. It's my job to give deaf people and hearing people access to each other. Personal development, inspirational ideas, and understanding the human mind, body, and spirit, and specifically what keeps us from following our hearts, achieving our dreams, and living our true purpose is my passion. It hurts my heart to think there are thousands of people without access to some of the best education on the planet. But I can't do it all. I hope others will pick up their hands and interpret whatever they want to share, as well as join me in interpreting inspiring talks, programs, etc. in the personal growth field. There is so much I wish I could interpret. For example, I mentioned limiting beliefs. What do I mean? We don't choose our families or how we are raised, and each and every one of us leaves our family of origin with specific taught points of view, including a long list of beliefs about ourselves, other people, and the way life works that we didn't choose. Even if you had great parents and supportive adults around you, none of us begin adulthood without limiting beliefs from our childhood. It's part of the human experience, something we all share. More about that later. But guess what? We actually can decide what to believe. We can question any or all of the things we were taught. We can teach ourselves how to be happy in this world, how to chase big dreams and achieve big goals. We can overwrite what we were taught. So I started learning sign language when I was 16, but I became fluent while I was a social worker, serving deaf families and learning from the best teachers, my deaf coworkers. I later married a deaf man who I met through one of my coworkers. They attended Gallaudet together, and finally became an interpreter for real when I was 38. As an interpreter, I discovered coaching in 2008, and that's when I knew I had found my purpose. Coaching is amazing. Coaching helps people learn exactly what they need to break down the barriers that have been keeping them stuck. Coaching allows people to finally make progress toward their goals. If you've ever felt frustrated because you made the same goal year after year and feel no closer to it now than ever, you have a limiting belief blocking you. That is what coaching can release, allowing you to finally achieve your biggest dreams. So, since 2017, I've kept me the interpreter and me the coach separate, clueless as to how to merge the two. This show, this podcast, I don't know what to call it yet. This is how. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. I want to share with you the books, talks, courses, even podcasts that have changed not only my life, but so many others. So what can you expect from this channel, show, podcast situation? 1, encouragement. For example, if you feel called to do something, anything, do it. Don't let that voice of doubt creep in. The one that says, who are you to think you have the skills to do that? Who are you to think you can be a leader? Who would even listen to you? Ignore all of that and go for it. 2, as a coach, I will teach key concepts that I think could change the world if everyone had access. 3, as an interpreter, I will sometimes just interpret for those of you who would prefer to listen. 4, as a world traveler, I hope you'll let me share my travels with you and inspire you to get out there too. Join me literally and figuratively on this journey of personal mindset and growth all over the world. If you have something in the personal growth genre that you've always wished you could read instead of read, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to check out my first official episode, which will showcase the amazing Brené Brown. Also, I am interpreting the podcast Spiritual Changemakers. Follow Andrea's journey navigating big changes below. She's actually traveling the world right now with no itinerary and no return ticket. Very exciting. See you next time.